like that. It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go yo, then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello, that's the Chad calling. Let me click over.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
It's the team of the 80s versus the team of the 90s. The Niners, the Cowboys, they're underway. Fielded about a yard deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Cunningham to throw. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Sliding out of the pocket.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. To throw on 3rd down, Cunningham. And he finds Stills, complete. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. To throw again, Cunningham steps away, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Marcus Golden, too much to handle that time, gets the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Being chased out left. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. Now a 1st down throw, Cunningham. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Bennett, the former Texas A&M Aggie, dropping the hammer.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. They'll get this up to the 34, and a good lane opening up right away for it. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be 4th down now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Tyus Bowser. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. This is Stills on the jet sweep. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get...
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Night Train Wayne. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Cunningham. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really...
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Cunningham. They find some open field here. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. They'll run it here. This is James White. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Out of the gun here, it's Cunningham. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sack back at the 29. Tyus Bowser in there for the sack on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Cunningham. And that will be incomplete. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12, and a big turn.
I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry coat is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff that acts like I don't know no bill. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, how about it? How about it? You want it, you have it, you got it. Go snatch it, skirt the lot. Go ahead, jump it, how about it? How about it? Rep for your bro.
for your post, strip out of your projects. Pain driven, itching, drumming. Look how far we coming. Heartbeat for the streets, you can do it. Ain't real for the weekend. Sweet, this sugar. One man army, but get deep. Watch what you doing.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here's a punter, Thomas Morstead, to get this one started. And we are underway from the City Beautiful. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go to base. 55. Eat. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Hey, check ball. Watch it.
On 1st and 10, Cunningham. He's got his man on the crossing route. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Cunningham looking to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Well, a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive. They'll try and throw for it here. And he connects with Ertz. 15 for the Niners there and a 1st down.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game. One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Sony Michel, his first carry. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
I certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. Here we go with Michel. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a 1st down. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On the ground is Michel. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Cunningham caught by the tight end Ertz. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. We're scoreless after 1. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. It was a safety, Kevin Byard, that time, who was able to knock it away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The Chiefs take over. Let's go. At their own 25-yard line.
Black 20, 50. Let him know.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. They could not ask for a worse start. You give up a touchdown on the game's opening drive, and then you turn right around and throw the interception on your very first play.
And this is where the coaching staff has to earn its money, because they've got to calm these guys down a little bit. Just as you noted, a horrendous start, both sides of the ball. But now the defense, which gave up an opening drive touchdown, they've got to go out there now and start playing like the team they want to be.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Cunningham. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bruce Smith able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them. No pickup.
And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Cunningham now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Cunningham completes it to Hardman. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
The Niners on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Cunningham. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. 2nd and 2. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Looking to throw. Cunningham. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Zach Ertz there to make the grab. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Zuerlein good with a PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Hey, Roy.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And going deep for Hill. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougald.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of